Hey, Friendos, Steve here.
And Larson.
Hey, welcome back to Going In Raw Matt Chat. It's the only place you can find a bunch of people asking us a bunch of questions, and then we answer those questions. You can be person asking us a question also at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. It's a terrific way to support the show, and you get your video question right here on Matt Chat, and it's terrific. It's really great.
It's great.
Anyways, you can really hurt somebody with a rubber band if you're not careful.
You know, if I shot you,
Don't ever point at me.
like Jack Ruby shot Oswald in the midsection.
Oswald!
I avoided the face, knowing
Well,
that
that didn't really help Oswald
rubber
now,
band
did it?
guy, but he also didn't get shot with a rubber band, did he? No. That was a bullet.
Anyways, welcome back to Matt Chat. We have a ton of questions to get through.
We do.
First up, we've got a question from Graham. Let's see what Graham has to say.
Hi Steve, hi Larson. My question this week is basically, what are your thoughts on the Superstar shake-up? I mean, I think it's a bit obvious that Raw got the better end of the deal, I think, to be honest. I think SmackDown didn't get much, really, in terms of how much Raw got, but I just want to know your thoughts on on the Superstar shake-up. Too sweet, the handshake.
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham.
You go first. Who won Superstar Shakeup?
SmackDown.
Why?
There is no doubt. Number one, look at SmackDown's women's division. It is stacked. Ember Moon. 3/4 of the four horsewomen are there right now. Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Bayley are all there. Ember Moon moved over. The biggest NXT call-up of the women's division, Kairi Sane, happened there. Asuka and her are now in a tag team. They seem to be focusing on the tag team titles there also. You've got you still have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They didn't go anywhere. So there's Liv Morgan got sent over there. I think that she's very underrated. And all they gave up really was Lacey Evans sort of solidifying her place on Raw and Naomi being shipped over there. And they got Zelina Vega also, who really doesn't wrestle all that much. So, yeah, the SmackDown women's roster is off the hook right now. So they won that. They also got Roman Reigns. He's the biggest thing in wrestling, so that's good. And all they really gave up for him was AJ Styles, who had pretty much done everything that he could do. They also got Finn Balor, the Intercontinental Champion. As of now, Samoa Joe is still there. So as of now, they have both mid-card titles. So that might change. Sure, maybe.
Yeah, it will.
But yeah, SmackDown totally won. It's not even a question.
Here's the thing.
And somehow they got Raw to keep both Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley.
Here's the thing about the Superstar Shakeup. If you can come out of this improving the balance across your roster and all your divisions, that's the win, and that's what Raw did. Their tag division was weak.
Yeah,
really bad,
it was
in fact.
Went from awful to okay.
No, it went to awful to pretty darn good because
Still not better than SmackDown's.
Aleister Black and Ricochet, who in a short time have solidified their tag team chemistry to be really special, exciting, very good tag team, they're sticking around on Raw, at least for the time being, as a tag team. Usos from SmackDown to Raw. War Machine. Yeah, they got a new crap name. Nonetheless, they're a fantastic team. The addition full-time of those three teams really elevates the Raw tag division. Add to that the Revival. That's four exceptional tag teams to serve as the foundation for your division. The Raw women's division lost some talent. Bayley's gone. Ember Moon's gone. They gained Naomi. She's fantastic. Lacey Evans has a ton of potential. Remains to be seen if she can put it all together.
They've already buried her.
And then you got the addition of four huge stars of SmackDown's mid-card. You got The Miz in the midst of a pretty compelling, very interesting face turn. His feud against Shane has been great so far. Let's continue on the A show.
It's kind of crazy how Miz's face turn is like just so well done.
It's because it feels organic.
Yeah, it's so well done.
You got Andrade, a man who's just filled to the brim with talent.
Yeah.
To the brim.
Yep.
It may be overflowing. He's so damn talented.
He's definitely overflowing with something.
Rey Mysterio, a legend.
Oh, he's great.
Someone like both he and Andrade, I felt like they had they had a lot of really good matches, some great matches.
Yeah.
But the feud never really took off.
No, it didn't.
I mean, now on Raw with a whole extra hour, opportunity for that feud to really take off.
Una hora.
Yeah. And then Samoa Joe, He's going to Raw. That U.S. title's going to Raw. They've announced it. He was sick. It's going to Raw.
Did they announce it?
No, they didn't announce it.
So it hasn't happened yet,
It
has
has happened.
Both mid-card titles are on
Maybe
SmackDown
by the time
brand,
the show is
Steve
aired,
brand.
it's happened. Plus, Cedric Alexander got called from 205 Live. He's fantastic. He's going to be a great addition to the mid-card there. Maybe he can get into that U.S. title scene soon enough. And on top of that, Raw got the most popular wrestler of anybody who switched shows.
Raw Gay Mutant?
AJ Styles. He's the top star of anybody who switched shows.
Is he? Roman Reigns? What are you talking about? Roman Reigns is. You're insane.
No,
Roman
in the eyes of
Reigns is
WWE,
top.
Roman Reigns is top. In the eyes of the WWE Universe, AJ Styles is top.
Anyways.
Next, got a debut Matt Chatter here. Sammy Garcia.
Look at the quality of this video.
Oh,
This
man.
guy is setting a new standard here with these DSLR video questions. Let's see what he has to say.
What's up, Friendos? It's your boy Simon Garcia with his first Matt Chat question. And my question today is, with Sasha Banks stating that she wants to leave WWE, is this a new form of WWE turning superstars heel? Because she has said in, I think it was some tweets, that she wants to go wrestle in other promotions, but the other promotions that she is quoting are WWE affiliated promotions. So, what do you guys think? Is this a good way to start turning superstars heel by threatening WWE that they don't want to wrestle in main roster? Let me know what you guys think. Too sweet and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, Sammy Garcia. Thank you for your question, and welcome to Matt Chat.
Welcome. Welcome.
No, this isn't only does it work in any capacity. That'd be odd for the WWE to work the news sites to such degree, and then would this even work? Would she really get heat with fans because she says, "I'm tired of being screwed around by WWE"? They told us Day of Mania that we're going to lose these titles after them saying that we're going to have a long run. Not only that, are we going to lose the titles, but we're getting broken up. How is that really going to generate heat with the fan base?
Yeah, if you look at the one time, I'm with you. I don't think it's a work at all.
No, I don't think it's work at all.
I think that there are some lines that WWE it just feels too much like Vince Russo territory. The last time they did something like that, it worked very well because of who it was. It was CM Punk. He had the thing where he said, "I'm going to take that title and I'm going to go." And that was kind of different. That wasn't, "I'm disgruntled." That was more like, "I'm doing this to spite you because you're Vince McMahon and you're a big rich piece of crap, and I'm going to show you."
And the premise of it was great, but they didn't follow through on any of it. So
the premise was completely different because it wasn't just him leaving. He was going to go and defend that title out on his own.
to prove, it was all enough to prove that he was the best.
Yeah, exactly. And so they kind of broached the idea then, but no, I don't. I think that that's something that they're not going to play with. I think that they rightly need to concern themselves with the perception of how they treat their talent, because if they feel like they're not, if the idea is talent doesn't get treated well there, it's so funny because I look, and we'll answer this question. I'll sort of bring this up again in this next question here from Richard Morris, but the idea that Andrade, according to the dirt sheets, was out there telling guys like Bandito and Roosh that WWE is not a great place to be. Obviously, something changed because they treat Andrade, I'm not going to say like $1 million, but they treat him pretty good.
And
now.
we have read in the past that Vince is aware or doesn't want the perception that any of his talents are unhappy.
Yeah.
Because then it makes his company look bad, and then if you get any word that AEW's wrestlers are ecstatic to be working there, versus a lot of disgruntled wrestlers in WWE, is a perception issue that he doesn't want to have.
Well, you have 4 companies that have plenty of money. You've got Ring of Honor, you got New Japan, you got Impact, for some reason they have money, and you've got one other I'm not thinking of. Impact, Ring of Honor,
All
New
Elite.
Japan. Oh, thank you, All Elite. So yeah, you've got 4 companies, all who have money to throw around. One of which especially has plenty of space on their roster for top level talent. And you want your people to be happy. Kind of find it interesting that Andrade, this was like 6 months ago, not even, that he was saying that, people were saying, yeah, he told Roosh and Bandito to stay away because they don't treat him right. And you kind of look at Roosh's and Bandito's where they are now versus what Andrade's doing now, and that hasn't really panned out all this. But I wonder how much of it is, oh man, we heard he's upset. Let's start treating him better.
Well, and also, I think, at least in Rush's example, I think he only signed a 1-year deal with Ring of Honor.
That was smart.
So maybe it was a situation where he's like, hey, I want to start working in the States more, get a more steady paycheck.
Get a name in the States, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here is a company that will agree to my terms.
Yeah.
I'll roll with that for a year. And in a year, if All Elite's on their feet and doing really well, I can go there.
Or if in a year I'll talk to Andrade and see how he likes WWE.
Exactly.
Because NXT wanted him, I think, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting stuff. Let's take a look at Richard Morris's question. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Stephen Larson, Richard Morris here with another Matt Chat question. Luke Harper, he made his request to leave WWE. Can't say I blame him. They've mismanaged him from the get-go almost. Just your thoughts. Where do you think he goes from here? My hopes that he goes to AEW. I think he's different. I think he's unique. He's got a great skill set. And I don't think AEW has anybody quite like him. I just want to know your guys' thoughts. Too sweet and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, Richard Morris.
Thank you, Richard Morris. So where should Luke Harper go should he be released?
Ring of Honor.
You were just saying that Ring of Honor is a bad move for Rush.
No, here's the thing. It's not actually really... Well, okay. So it's actually an incredibly good move for Rush, but it's an even better move for people who already have a name in North America. I'm sure that Rush is the kind of guy... It's so weird saying Rush, by the way. I feel like it should be Rush. I feel like he's the kind of guy who, if he does what he is probably capable of doing, building a big name for himself in a company that obviously has a depth issue, he could ascend to the top of Ring of Honor within the next 12 months and sign a new contract there if things are going good. The thing is, Ring of Honor really needs to address their main event depth issue, and it is an issue. Matt Taven is their world champion. That is an issue. You got a guy like Luke Harper, and they're like bringing in, and I don't know, I don't think they showed up at the TV tapings, but the Enzo and Cass thing. If they're willing to spend money on Enzo and Cass, you are damn well sure they can spend it on good wrestlers like Luke Harper, guys who we've only seen the tip of the iceberg in his, 4 or 5 years in the WWE. We've only seen just a scratch of what he can do. Send him over to Ring of Honor, have him bring back the Brody Lee guy, and I'm sure we'll be able to see a ton more of what he can do. In fact, there's a Luke Harper question, after this one, and we'll go more into it then there. But Ring of Honor does not have a lot of top name talent there. They have really good talent. They've got Brody King. We love him. They've got PCO. He's a lot of fun. Obviously, they have Jeff Cobb. He's one of our favorites on the indie scene or, the non-WWE scene. But they are severely lacking in top name talent. Ever since the Elite left, that basically, sort of, and so not just Elite, but who else left Ring of Honor recently?
SCU.
That's right, SCU. And so there is prime opportunity. One of the big, I guess at this point, probably behind All Elite and WWE, the third biggest company in North America has a massive talent vacuum. And people that are unhappy with WWE, unhappy even in New Japan or whatever, they can go and grab that spot. There are spots to be had there. Right now is the perfect time for Ring of Honor with somebody with an established name. Now, 12 months from now, if the scene is more vibrant in the main event scene, Rush, a guy like Rush, if he really builds up a name for himself, will find himself mixing up with those big names. Having made a name for himself, he'll be in a really prime spot for Ring of Honor, either to help take that company back to prominence or to write his ticket somewhere else.
No, man, he should either go to All Elite or New Japan.
There's too many people. There's too many people in All Elite, and there's too many people in New Japan. Why would he go to All Elite? There's so many people there.
I don't remember if it was Richard or Patrick Sparks. They make a good point of saying there's no one really like Luke Harper in All Elite. All Elite focuses on the more highly athletic, but by and large, smaller wrestlers. Mm-hmm. He's a tall dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
And that's a different dynamic that All Elite doesn't have right now. Mm-hmm. And that's something that can be utilized for storytelling opportunities. Also, he's a larger dude, but also he's really athletic. He can do a lot of really cool things in the ring. He can do a lot of interesting character work. it just feel like, I don't know, just based on G1 Supercard, Ring of Honor kind of seems like it's a bit of a mess right now. And yeah, there's going to be an opportunity for money making potential and branding. With that, we remain to be seen what All Elite products is going to look like. But imagine Luke Harper in New Japan. You know, like I know they kind of took.
I don't know what that looked like, to be honest with you.
The closest kind of analogy I can think of is something along the lines of Lance Archer, a big dude that's athletic, that does good character work. And they kind of...
Yeah, but how high on the totem pole is Lance Archer?
Well, he was put in a tag team, and they were actually a really successful tag team, Killer Elite Squad. And then unfortunately, they kind of neutered his gimmick where he couldn't go around spitting water anymore, which is gross but hilarious. And I kind of feel like that he was just kind of lost without that one thing. He exactly wasn't sure how to generate the heat he could. But I don't know, just the prospect of Luke Harper, who's immensely talented, go to New Japan and showing the full breadth of his talents against some of the best wrestlers in the world intrigues me.
One thing that, but here's the thing about that. One thing that I still think Ring of Honor is plays. Ring of Honor is like they're just in a rebuilding year. Like that's all.
I know. I mean,
you're not going to go and say, oh man, how are the I don't know, name a team that's like the Lakers or whatever, like last year before they got LeBron. Or even this year now.
Well, here's the thing.
LeBron.
Here's the thing about
look at this. Wow, they're crap.
I'm happy you mentioned the Lakers because last year they were not good, and this year they were not good. But especially with Luke Walton just getting fired, let go, quitting, whatever publicly they said from the Lakers. You hear him talk about the Lakers last year with a bunch of young talent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're rebuilding, but there was a lot of good talent on hand to build around, and he was hopeful, enthusiastic about it. You hear rumblings out of LA this year after they brought in LeBron. And it's like the whole atmosphere, the chemistry of everything around him, the whole team changed to such a degree that it sabotaged the season almost before it began. And I feel like Ring of Honor right now is in the latter phase of that. As opposed to, they have a lot of really great up-and-coming talent that they're building around.
You think they're more of a post-LeBron?
No, I feel like they're more of a LeBron-type situation now because of how it feels like they're handling their creative as much as who they're bringing in.
Yeah, dude, but you've seen one show. You've seen G1 Supercard, which is like a co-show also.
I know, but if you're going to put your best foot forward on any show, it's going to be that one. It's your largest show ever.
Yeah, but doing it in a rebuilding year, like they just lost the Elite. I just think that that's a company. That company's going to be around.
Oh yeah, it will, and they will throw money at him. And if he thinks that's the best opportunity for him, then more power to him. Because
here's the thing: you also get a chance to showcase your personality. In New Japan, because of the language barrier, I'm not sure how much of an opportunity he's going to have to do that.
I'll just say this. I mean, selfishly speaking, I'd much rather see Luke Harper, Brody Lee in New Japan or All Elite because that's product I watch. I make an effort to watch.
Do you watch All Elite every week?
When it's on, I will, because we're going to cover it.
When it's on TV.
Whereas until I hear something drastically improving in Ring of Honor, I will not be watching that on a regular basis because I surely see no reason to apart from Jeff Cobb.
You didn't watch it on a regular basis when they had good stuff going on. Get out of here with that.
But I was hoping based on because some of the talent I really like.
Yeah, me too.
Just isn't doing it for me right now.
Yeah, they're in a rebuilding year, man. I just think it's an awesome opportunity. You've got All Elite; they're signing up everybody they can, and so it's
they've actually been pretty.
Where am I going to fit in here?
All Elite's actually been pretty good about not snatching up everybody.
Like, where am I going to fit in here? New Japan is stacked. That company is stacked.
Yeah, they're really good. They're in really good shape.
Impact. I mean, there's also, I would think, assuming Impact's business is still good, and apparently they can still spend money. That's an interesting place. I wish they'd get like a better distribution outlet.
They need a better TV deal.
They really do. But the roster seems happy over there. Like people keep on re-signing and signing over there. The roster seems pretty happy over there, and the wrestling's good.
People who are signed on board for Impact long term believe in the product and want to be a part of building it into something of prominence.
Yeah, Impact.
And that's the feeling I get over there.
Yeah, and I would think that Ring of Honor right now is in the early stages of maybe people coming. People are going to be. Are you kidding me? People are going to be so anxious to look at Ring of Honor right now and say, "Oh my God, they're bringing in Enzo and Cass. Look, give me a paycheck. I will come in. I will be part of the group that will bring it back to where it really needs to be." That is a huge opportunity, and I think that people would love to take them.
I don't know if you got offers from All Elite, Ring of Honor, and New Japan. Where are you going?
I don't know. It depends on what you want. I'm not sure that Brody Lee can showcase his personality in New Japan. I just don't think I don't know that there's much. I mean, I know Jericho went over there and he was able to do it, but Jericho is a guy who has his own. He's got a podcast which is massively popular. People pay attention to him anyways. I just don't know. That's where I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. does a pretty good job with the language barrier.
Yeah.
He does a decent job. So maybe it's possible.
Kenny did a great job when he was there. Cody did a great job.
Kenny was also bilingual.
Yeah.
Cody did a decent job, but again, Cody had a million other distribution platforms to get his message out on. So I don't know. He'd really have to think about it, and we don't know what his life is like. I mean, I'm pretty sure he has kids.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do you want to spend overseas?
Yeah, who knows? Next, another Luke Harper question from Patrick Sparks.
B-Man.
Hey, Friendos, Pat here. All right, so there's a bunch of releases this past week with the shakeup. Alexander Wolf, Luke Harper, a couple other people. My question is, out of the many people who have been released recently, who do you think could go out onto the indies, Ring of Honor, New Japan, whatever, build up their brand again, have a really good run, dominance, and like I said, build brand, and then possibly come back to the WWE and have a great run, say someone how like Drew did it. I could really see that maybe happening for Luke Harper, because as everybody knows, he's great and a lot of untapped potential right there. So I say he goes and taps it. Maybe they want him back in like 5 years and he has a killer run. What do you guys think? Thanks for nose bite.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks.
Oh, hell yeah, Luke Harper could be have a Drew McIntyre type career arc. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
He has all the ability to go out there, work for whomever he wants to, wherever he wants to, reinvent himself, show the world what he can do. Here's the difference now, though. When Drew McIntyre came back to WWE, there was no the second option, in theory, as strong as All Elite to go to. So who's to say that after Luke Harper, Brody Lee goes out there, reinvents himself, proves what an incredible talent he is, his ability to make tons of money, that he'd even want to go to WWE? I think that's really the difference. There's so many opportunities now to go out there, work for companies other than WWE, make a ton of money. That if he's been through that situation once before, has soured on it, the bloom has come off the rose. The idea of having a huge, moment or career in WWE, then maybe that's not really an option he wants to pursue in 3 to 5 years.
I think if you take a look at Drew McIntyre when he left, literally right before he left WWE, if you took a look at that, and then you take a look at Luke Harper and what we know of Luke Harper, and you ask yourself, which guy do you think has bigger potential in terms of going on excursion and coming back like a money player, proving himself outside the WWE to the point that WWE would say, hey, we really want you. They back up the Brinks truck or whatever. I would say Luke Harper. I never saw it in Drew McIntyre until literally the first promo I saw after he had left, and he did that promo in ICW, and he had a beard and he was amazing. And then we saw him develop. He'd show up in Impact and here and there, and it's like, this dude is Jack King. He just looks amazing. And then it's like, yeah, wow, that's not surprising they bring him back. He's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, it's probably going to take him going out and becoming Brody Lee, and then they'll bring him back as Luke Harper, but as the Brody Lee Luke Harper that we see. That's sort of the best case scenario for him. He seemed to really enjoy his time in WWE while he was there, and he got to taste what almost that big main event scene would be like, and then they sort of snatched it from him, which we were both bummed out by.
That was lame.
So I think he'll be great, and I think that I hope they do bring him back.
Next question from Joshua Martinez.
Hey, Friendos. Joshua Martinez back this week with another Matt Chat question. So with the news of Luke Harper asking for his release and maybe Alexander Wolf, or that could be just Sanity, leaving Sanity. Either way, it seems like we could see more superstars who are underutilized asking for the release. And my question is, who do you think is next in line, or who do you think should ask for the release for other promotions, possibly AEW, obviously? But let me know what you guys think. Thanks, Friendos.
Thank you, Joshua Martinez.
Thank you, Joshua Martinez. Bob Roode. They don't know what they're doing with him. Granted, this is one instance when we had the pleasure of meeting him. He seemed very tired.
That was right after he got to main roster.
Yeah, but it's a difficult schedule to work on the road 4 or 5 days a week, away from home 200 days a year. Especially, yeah, he might be making a handsome paycheck, but if they seemingly have no idea what they're doing with you creatively, that could get frustrating. And from the moment he got called up, it seems obvious they had no idea what they were doing with him creatively. It's been, about a couple years almost? Has it been a couple years since he got called up?
Yeah, I think it's been
after achieving great success in NXT in a short period of time. He's just been mired in mid-card at best. He was at least doing something with Chad Gable. Now they broke him up with the shakeup. So I don't know what's next for him. They kind of have some kind of half-assed heel turn going on with him, but they never really culminated that in terms of any sort of story.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He just seems directionless.
Yeah.
Amongst a sea of immensely talented individuals, and I haven't seen anything from creative to indicate that they're willing to give him any opportunities to separate himself from anybody else.
Bob Roode's old. He's not going anywhere. And here's the thing: he's been multi-time champion since his call-up. I think a lot of people would surprisingly be happy to get the treatment that he's received, being multi-time champion. Yes, he has absolutely not lived up to the potential, or creative has not done him the service to his potential as we saw in NXT and even before then. I would probably see how these next 12 months play out before I'd say Bob Roode should be asking for his release. I'm going to go in a different direction. I'll say Apollo Crews. I know he just got switched over to SmackDown. Again, the next 6 months are going to be, the next 3 months are going to be, next Tuesday will be very telling for Apollo Crews. Whether or not, because they sent Chad Gable over there too, whether or not they're going to put them in a tag team together or are they going to try a singles thing with those guys, I'm not sure. I just know that if you want to look at somebody who has actually had a bungled call-up, it is Apollo Crews. He had something kind of good with Titus Worldwide. They flirted with a program with him and Bob Lashley where we actually got to see a bit of Apollo Crews' personality and it actually sparkled and shined. But time and again, I don't think has he even had a tag championship? No, he hasn't.
He hasn't won any belts.
Apollo Crews is 31 years old. He had built a bit of a following prior to his time in WWE as Uhaa Nation. And I think he's the kind of guy who would fit in so well at any of the places out there, Impact, Ring of Honor, and New Japan across the board. I mean, God, to imagine him facing off against some of those dudes in New Japan, the idea of him going up against Pac if Pac does actually sign a deal with All Elite, which apparently is kind of up in the air. Yeah, I think that the sky's the limit for that guy outside the WWE. And again, I think that dude, how long can you just be done nothing with? And then, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of sort of younger athletic dudes also in WWE, but on SmackDown. You got Mustafa Ali. He's going to be in your way. You've got Chad Gable now. He's going to be in your way. And I'm probably leaving out some people.
There's a long list of people that probably would.
Buddy Murphy, he's going to be in his way.
Well, I'd say there's probably a long list of people we could have named to answer this question.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's as long as all that. I hope they really. God, the guy I really hope they do something with is Damo.
Yeah,
I really hope they do something with him.
Yeah. Haven't yet.
No, they haven't. But like with Apollo Crews, like, dude, they just haven't done
anything with
anything at all. So there you go. Next up, another killer question from Draft House Games with our favorite person, Joey Ryan.
Yes.
Draft House Games back with another Matt Chat question. So with Money in the Bank coming up, who should win the women's and men's matches?
I'm going to go ahead and say for the women's match, the winner should be Candice LeRae. And for the men's match, I'm going to go ahead and say the winner should be Candice LeRae.
Thank you, Draft House Games and Joey Ryan.
Thank you, Draft House and Joey. Yes.
I think Joey had the actual correct answer
Yes.
there. Candice LeRae should win both.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. Totally. 100%.
But let's take Candice out of the equation. She's going to be hopefully vying for that NXT Women's Championship.
What's to say that precludes her from winning both Money in the Bank ladder matches?
I mean, if you want both your answers to be Candice LeRae, have at it.
Done.
Okay.
Who am I to disagree with Joey?
I will say Money in the Bank ladder match. I'd like to see Mustafa Ali win the men's Money in the Bank
think
ladder
that'd be
match.
great.
Because they sort of use that briefcase as kind of a faux title, pseudo title, replacement
You
title.
can get a custom one made with some LED lights on it.
That's cool. That's really good. So I'd like to see that. I think he'd be killer in a ladder match also. Because I kind of feel like he's had such an amazing ascent, and then he had that injury, but they just put him out there against Finn Balor, and he looked like $1 million.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
I think that the sky's the limit for him, and that's a great next step for him. I think that'd be terrific. And then in the women's ladder Money in the Bank match, Mandy Rose.
All right.
Mandy Rose.
Candice and Candice. Next, Steven from Geeked Out Nation. He's got a question.
I like this one. Go ahead.
What's up, friendo? Steven here once again, and my question is in regards to the Viking Experience fiasco. How does Triple H move on? How does Triple H get over what happens to his superstars when they get taken from him? They leave NXT, these amazing superstars, only to get thrown into the main roster and just kind of EC3, Bobby Roode, the Viking Experience, aka the War Raiders, Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka. If you're Triple H and you see this constantly happening, what do you do? Like, in your mind, how do you get over it? What do you tell yourself to justify it's gonna be okay? That's my question. Not really a great one, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. As always, too sweet, hearty handshake, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Thank you, Steven.
Thank you, Steven.
We talked about this actually quite a bit on, I believe, the Raw recap following the Viking Experience.
Wait, you're going to call them what?
And I think essentially, you think that he's probably removed himself enough from the situation?
He don't give a F. He does not care. Let me ask you something real quick. Have you heard him on those conference calls? You have.
I've heard it. I mean, the transcript of those conference
That
calls.
dude is busy.
Yeah.
Busy. Hey, I did my job. You're out there on main roster. They give you a crap name, roll with it. It's an old school mentality. He doesn't care.
No, I don't think it's a matter if he doesn't care. Because I think he does care. You see NXT, it's a family there. I'm sure he does care. And maybe privately he'll think for a moment, it's a bummer. But I'm sure to the actual talents, he's super positive about it and says, hey, we prepared you in NXT to handle whatever adversity the main roster throws at you, including terrible creative and crap names. I believe in you. I believe that you will make the best of the situation. Go show him what you could do. I'm sure that's what he tells him, and I'm sure that's by and large what he believes. At the same time, I would not be surprised. I don't know the man. Don't know him at all. I know he's incredibly busy, so he probably doesn't spend a whole lot of time thinking about it. But I would be surprised, especially someone like Asuka, who they invested so much in NXT. And her call-up, while not bungled as badly as some, wasn't handled definitely not perfectly. You could argue whether he was handled well at all. Seeing her on main a year and a half, 2 years out, and granted, she won a Rumble. She had a huge match against Charlotte at WrestleMania. He probably thinks, man, creative on main really dropped the ball with that one.
I doubt it. You know why? That guy spent 18 months being punished for for just saying goodbye to his friends.
Yeah, it was a different time,
That
though.
dude but that's the mentality. You know those wrestlers, man. They come up and their mentality kind of just stays with how they were brought up. It's, you know what? It's sink or swim. You deal with it or you don't. I did my job. You're out there making a big paycheck. Good luck to you. Asuka, what are you talking about, Asuka? She won the championship. She's in a high-profile tag team now. She had a huge WrestleMania moment with Charlotte, which she lost. They've done fine with it. This is what I'm speculating. He's thinking, this dude had to lose in 2 minutes to the Ultimate Warrior in 1996, man.
That was even before the punishment began.
I know! That was before they punished him, man!
I'm not.
That was before they punished him.
Here's the
You
thing:
think he gives it-
you're acting like I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry you called them the Viking experience. I jobbed the Ultimate Warrior in
no,
2
no,
minutes.
that is not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying
He doesn't care.
no. I'm not.
He does not care.
Watch anything they show from behind the scenes at NXT. He cares about what the future holds for those talents, but he's not gonna go and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry they gave you a terrible name." That's what I'm saying. He's like, to them, he's like, "Yeah, this is what happens." He might say, "I lost Ultimate Warrior in 2 minutes. I'm doing okay for myself now."
I will give you this.
But I'm saying he might to himself say for 15 seconds, "They could have done better with that."
I would say for 15 seconds he might say, "Oh, it's not how I would have done it." I don't even know if he would say that though, because here's the thing: this dude, he's like, "Yep, they gave NXT." I mean, you can only control what you're doing. He probably mentally has separated himself from main. It's like that's not. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
what do I
disagreeing
care?
with any of that.
Like, I'm not doing that.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but he just probably takes for a moment, half a moment, say, "Bummer, not how I would have done it."
Maybe, I don't know. I could.
You just see this what they show from backstage at NXT.
No,
and
I get it. I just
everybody-
I don't
it seems like-
equivalate the two. I don't think that one is the same as the other. I don't think that you can have human emotion or human.
You
connections
can
with
have human
people.
connection with the people and have bond with them and wish and hope for the best for their future, and then see something like the Viking experience happen, or what happened to the Ascension.
He probably laughed at that.
He might have, but at the same time, you can see, okay, well, we spent time and effort and money establishing these characters in NXT and what we think creatively is the best foot. And then we do what we can to get them ready to go up to Raw or SmackDown, and hopefully they can build upon what they've established in NXT. I feel like that's kind of the idea. I'm not necessarily saying creatively, but in terms of having the talent, develop the skills necessary to go and succeed on the main roster. And you see a team like, for example, War Machine, who's immensely talented. And they made their debut on Main, and I'm sure that was huge for them. That's probably something they've been dreaming of for years. And what was everybody talking about? What a terrible name that is. Not focusing on them debuting and what an awesome moment that was for them and how good they looked out there in the ring. What was everybody talking about? Wow, they gave them a really fucking shit name. It takes the spotlight over what is actually off of what is actually important, is them getting to the main roster completely.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I'm not saying he doesn't care. He might care a little bit.
Okay,
He just can't do anything about it.
I don't think he cares.
He can't do anything about it.
Philly Flexer has a question. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, it's your boy Philly Flexer here, and my match chat question this week is: do you feel like the casual WWE fan will follow the likes of a Sasha Banks or anybody else who's super popular in WWE to these other promotions, or do you think they'll just stick to their guns and just watch WWE and find somebody else to root for? All right, thanks guys.
Thank you, Philly Flexer.
Oh man, yeah. I don't think there's any reason to believe that people that are fans of Sasha Banks or Luke Harper or whomever wouldn't follow them to see what they're doing. I mean, when CM Punk left, I sought out his for his UFC debut. Why are you laughing? That's so rude.
I watched it too. It wasn't much of a fight.
You think Triple H felt bad about that one?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think people will follow him.
No, I think they will, but
It's a good reason for AEW to sign people like that.
exactly.
I
I mean, wrestlers who are large enough stars to have a huge fan base, most certainly, they will have fans that follow them wherever they go. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really the thing. It's just, for example, Ty Dillinger. I'm sure he has his fans. I like them, but that's not necessarily saying I'm going to follow every step he takes on the independent ranks these days.
Yeah.
Because while I enjoyed some of his work, it's not like, oh man, Ty, he's my favorite.
Yeah.
If he pops up in All Elite Wrestling, sure, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to seek out every YouTube video of him wrestling in a high school gymnasium.
Yeah.
So I think by and large, it depends on the magnitude of the star we're talking here.
Yeah. No, I agree with
Someone
you.
like Sasha that has a huge fan base, has a huge following, there's going to be
Yeah.
a significant portion of the WWE audience that will follow her
And he
wherever
said,
she goes.
he specifically mentioned casual, the casual WWE fan.
And I think that's more the case for the largest stars.
I think you're right. I think that's one big point of All Elite. That's one. I mean, anybody. I'm not going to say All Elite. All Elite, Ring of Honor, Impact is you got to measure. What do you think? Should this Enzo and Cass? They had a big following there in WWE. We might be able to snag some of their fans to our product if we sign them.
Anybody.
Is that a good idea?
anybody. I can't think of anybody
that a good
in
idea?
in recent history that was so over at one point to be kind of universally loathed. Can you?
No, it is pretty stunning.
It's stunning how in the matter of like 2 years, Enzo went from being extremely over to nobody liking him.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Absolutely nobody.
It's bizarre. How do you burn it down that
I don't know.
much?
I don't know.
You put out a rap album.
No, it doesn't.
Oh man. Anyways, moving on. I love this question.
This is a great question from
Willism.
Hi, Stephen Larson. So this is my first Matt Chat, and I'm working out in the garage listening to you guys, and it got me thinking about WrestleMania and seeing Triple H come out and that really weird rat rod. And knowing that some other superstars like Eddie Guerrero in the past had benefited greatly from coming out in lowriders, and it really defined his character. Anyway, I have 2 cars here. A single turbo Supra makes about 1,000 horsepower, as well as a 68 big block Chevelle. So who would you book to do an entrance with either of these vehicles in either WWE or even outside WWE? Let me know. I would be curious to hear what you guys think. Also, a little fun fact, these Supras, guess who's a big fan of them? Braun Strowman. He can actually fit his ass in one of these. I don't know how, but he owns a couple of them, and they're pretty rare cars to begin with. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I found that one out the other day. Anyway, too sweet, hearty handshake, coming from your pal, Willism. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you, Willism.
Thank you, Willism. Man,
Those some
that dude
cool
has
cars.
some rides.
Yeah, man, that's some cool cars.
Wow.
So this is what I got. So I'm thinking like WrestleMania entrances.
Yeah, sure.
He said that Supra had 1,000 horsepower, which means it could probably go really fast, really quick.
Yeah.
What else goes really fast, really quick?
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Well, bullets, but then
Yeah.
I got to thinking of the sound effect they put before his theme song. Ricochet. He drives into Mania in that fast car. Mm-hmm. And then he goes to the ring and does a bunch of incredible stuff.
Okay, well let me do the Super let me do my Super now.
All right.
So I like what you said. The problem there is Ricochet's entrance is already
Now let's put the
magnifique.
laser over the car.
How about you put lasers coming out of the car?
There you go.
Okay. How about
Replace
this?
headlights with lasers?
Somebody who needs a new gimmick, who needs a rebranding, who could come out every episode in a Supra. Apollo Crews. I mentioned him earlier. He can't want to be at WWE anymore. But you stick him in a cool car.
He could be car guy.
He could be car guy.
Car enthusiast.
Apollo Crews.
There you go.
Not Cruz.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
C-R-U-I-S-E.
Change his finisher, make called cruise control.
There you go. Apollo Crews.
All right, who do you want in the Chevelle?
Aleister Black. Look, man, they done jacked up his vampire entrance with that stupid creaky noise. It's getting old anyways.
That's kind of like the least of my worries of all the changes they've made.
Put him in a Chevelle.
I'm sure that thing is noisy.
He looks like a cool car guy anyways.
Yeah.
And he looks like a vintage, cool, awesome, cool car guy.
I said Baron Corbin because I think Baron Corbin wants to be a Ferrari guy.
There's not enough skulls on that car.
He wants to be a Ferrari guy, but I feel like he really is a Chevelle guy.
Yeah. Now, Chevelles are cool, man.
No, they are cool.
Chevelles
it's a
are
different
cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Old car cool. That's still cool.
He looks like he could be old car cool. He was motorcycle cool.
Yes, I feel like he's old car cool rather than Ferrari cool.
Who on the roster is Ferrari cool? Because Ferrari's kind of not cool. Like Davari is Ferrari guy because his thing is money also. Mm-hmm. And that's like a 205 guy. Mm-hmm. Zenith64 has a question about the last 10 years of wrestling. Let's see what he has to say.
Salutations, Friendos. So, I've noticed that I've been watching wrestling for 10 years, which is a long time, but if you think about it, it's just from WrestleMania 25 to the current 135. So I was just thinking, what is the best moment in wrestling in the past 10 years? Was it CM Punk, Pipe Bomb? Was it the Yes Movement? In the past 10 years, what was the best wrestling moment? Thank you.
Thank you, Zenith64.
Thank you, Zenith64.
I'll go first on this one. I'm going to say the best wrestling moment of the last 10 years has been when WWE raided New Japan to pick up AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the club. I kind of feel like at that moment it really opened up. I don't know if that was a deliberate thing. I know they were getting other people. They had gotten Finn Balor already. They had picked up Kevin Owens already. They'd been picking from like outside WWE a bit more, going for a wider variety. But once they started rating the awesome New Japan talent, it was like, man, no, there are no limits. Like they're going to start just picking from everybody, all the great. And they've done that. They've gone out and literally tried to get every awesome name there is. And so I'm going to say that. Plus, this WrestleMania 35. Historic moment. Kofi Kingston winning WWE Championship. Women's first main event. That right there. I mean, I know it just happened 10 minutes ago, but I'm going to say that was a pretty big deal.
All right. I'm going to say Daniel Bryan win the title at WrestleMania 30.
That was my first answer, too.
He was the first of the prominent indie wrestlers of the early and mid-aughts to reach the top of the mountain, main eventing WrestleMania. I know CM Punk won world titles before. I mean, Daniel Bryan won world titles before this. But to see how far the industry had changed, I was thinking about like the previous 4 WrestleMania main events, all pretty much involved either John Cena or people who were wrestling in like the 90s. Because he had 2 years straight of Cena Rock, and then before that was Cena Miz, and before that was Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 main events prior to Daniel Bryan main eventing. And just to see how far the WWE had come in terms of incorporating wrestlers who weren't usual WWE mold, huge, muscular, slow-moving, to get a guy who was actually a really talented technical wrestler and have him with the support of the WWE Universe. Main event WrestleMania was huge.
Yeah.
And without that, I don't know. I mean, granted, we'd seen a lot of former Ring of Honor and indie wrestlers into the WWE fold by that point, but I don't know. Without him winning, I don't know if they would have brought in as many. Probably still, because NXT was still a thing, but I don't know. It felt like it kind of changed the game a bit.
Yeah.
In my estimation.
Yeah. No, I could totally see that. Next up, Rich Nason has a question. Let's see what he has to say.
Friendos, Rich here with another Mad Chat question for the week as I hold real Goldie, no replica. She's real. And covered. Anyway, hopefully one of my wishes actually is to show you this in real life, boys, because you will probably climax and have your own big O moment afterwards. Anyway, I was thinking since WrestleMania's done, the shakeup's done, some things were... Do you think it'd be possible if Triple H ever went to Vince and said, "Hey Vince, I find it funny that things kind of go to hell when you change things. What do you say SummerSlam, those 4 days, I have complete control over everything. What do you think, Dad?"
What do you mean you want control?
But my question is, do you think Vince would ever not necessarily step aside, but temporarily say,
"Okay, Paul, you want control, you got it."
And kind of let Triple H or the writers or just anyone else who has a solid idea create a script and stick to it? Is it possible for something to be done without Vince literally changing it last minute?
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Rich. No. Nice title. That's a beautiful title.
It is a great looking title, but no, Vince is never going to step aside unless there's some... The only way that he will... I don't believe there's any circumstance unless he will willingly step aside, except for some massive controversy that would lose the company massive amounts of money. If there was some sort of health issue that precluded him from fulfilling his duties day to day, that might do it. But I don't ever picture a situation where Vince is like, "All right, sure, you could take control for the day, Triple H."
Without something acting as a catalyst, I think you're exactly right. I think that there is no way. That dude is known to have control freakism running through his veins.
Yes.
So, no, I don't see that ever happening. I mean, there is the possibility, similar in the way he, told Triple H, "You got to start wearing a suit and we got to start grooming you." There is the possibility, because, I mean, we've heard that there are some SmackDowns he doesn't show up at. There's the possibility that he'll, maybe to groom Triple H even further, or Stephanie, Triple H, whatever, whoever's running the show next. Maybe he'll for an episode, but I just don't see it. I think every episode really matters to Vince. Whether we like it or not, I think every episode matters. Every segment matters.
Yep.
And people will get fired over the smallest things.
Yeah.
Because it matters that much to him.
Mm-hmm.
They get fired for letting Bret Hart say Vince McMahon in his thanks. That's how much and it's a Hall of Fame ceremony. Who cares about that?
Yeah,
Vince.
I know.
Vince does.
I know.
So, yeah. Christopher has a question. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Steven Larson. So the Viking experience is a thing. So my question is, I want you to get 5 NXT superstars, and if Vince were to see them and see their names, what names would they change their name or gimmicks? It's up to you guys. Have fun. Viking experience.
Thank you,
Christopher. All right, let's see here. Shayna would be Fighter punches a lot.
I have Matt Riddle as the Quizmaster because he can't do the Riddler.
The Quizmaster.
So he's the Quizmaster.
That's good.
He quizzes talents, and then if they answer incorrectly, he puts them in the bro mission.
Okay, give me another. Who's their champion? Right? Oh, Johnny Gargano.
I have Johnny and Candice as the wrestling family. They have vignettes that are like Leave It to Beaver.
That's really good. Okay. All right. The Undisputed Era. 4 dudes.
4 dudes with attitude.
4 dudes with attitude. Yeah. Who else is over there? Keith Lee. Your name is Big Man.
He's
just Big Man.
Limitless. Limitless Keith Lee.
Yeah.
So they're going to change his name to Keith Lee Unlimited.
Keith Lee Unlimited. That's good. I feel like you're better at this than I am. Give me somebody else. Who else is there in NXT?
Forgotten Sons.
The Forgotten Sons.
CCR cover band. I'm like, no, Vince's Fortunate Son. That's a CCR song.
They're just called CCR cover band.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah. The Fogarty Sons.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man.
Next, we got a question from, it's time for some chit-chat with the champ. Question from Adam Mayhem.
Oh, cool. I can sleep.
Adam Mayhem has been MIA, but here he is back with a Matt Chat question. Steven Larson, with everybody asking for their releases and wanting to become a t-shirt salesman with AEW. I'm asking, who is going to be the next big signing from the indies to WWE? I don't care who wants to go to AEW. I'm asking you, who is going to that allegedly sinking ship of WWE? Everybody's getting out. Who's going to get signed? And also, if all these releases are granted, who's going to benefit the most? All right, take it easy, guys. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Adam Mayhem.
Thank you, Adam Mayhem.
Okay, so when we say indies, we're not talking Ring of Honor, we're not talking Impact, we're not talking New Japan.
We're not talking anybody affiliated with any of the major promotions, yes.
Right. Who does that even leave anymore? Who is out there on the independent circuit, man? It's a whole lot of nothing out there, right?
You see who StarCast has announced as some of their superstars.
Well, even then, it's like they have a bunch of like people who are like already.
I know.
Signed to places. Let's see here.
Let's see.
Signed. Frank Mir.
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage, perfect.
Like, I don't know a whole lot about this Orange Cassidy fella.
I don't know anything about him, but people seem to like him quite a bit.
But I know a lot of, like, I've heard...
Filthy Tom Lawler.
Like, a lot of people have been speaking highly of Mance Warner. I've heard the name. I don't know much about his work. I know he signed MLW.
Yeah, I don't know what the MLW contract is like. I would think
either.
that it would give him an out for WWE, though.
But Darby Allin, he just signed with
He just signed. He would have been my first name. Because I think, boy, he's terrific.
What about Marco Stunt?
Dude, I don't know, man. What about Glacier?
I don't know. Probably not Glacier.
Yeah, dude, everybody who's anybody has been snatched up, dude.
How about you, Adam Mayhem?
Yeah, how about you?
Maybe you're the next huge signee.
Let's see here. Who else? Anybody? Oh, my God.
Yeah, most people are getting signed.
Jungle Boy got signed too, huh?
Yep.
He's with All Elite.
Yep.
Man.
Well, we'll think about it. And if you think of anybody else, we'll get back to it. Next, we got a question from El Grande Luchador.
Oh, new match chatter.
Yeah, see what he has to say.
Hola, Steven Larson. Jacksonville's number one is on vacation this week, so I've been tasked with giving the match chat question. By the way, my name is El Grande Luchador. That's the fat luchador. And this week, the match chat question is this. Just like when CM Punk left in whatever that was and walked out or got fired, which superstar today could leave or walk out from WWE and hurt the product the most? You can't use Seth or Becky Lynch. Let me know your thoughts. Too sweet, hearty handshake. This has been El Grande Luchador. Peace out, guys.
Thank you, El Grande Luchador.
El Grande Luchador. Boy, dude, I don't know, man. There is not really nobody's bigger than the brand these days,
and especially with El Grande Luchador saying no Seth, no Becky. They're off the table as far as
they're not. Everybody's replaceable. Everybody's replaceable.
This is the two best names I can come up with. Charlotte, because she is kind of, even though I know Becky's is on top of the women's divisions, Charlotte's kind of the cornerstone. And you put her in a match, it's going to be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like if Charlotte were to walk out, that would be a huge loss.
Yeah.
Other name, The New Day.
Yeah.
Huge merch sellers.
Okay, so
and if they were to walk out and go elsewhere, they are wrestlers who people will follow.
So that's the question is, and I think there is one answer to this, and it's Roman Reigns. The reason why is because Roman is such an ingrained company guy. The guy that literally for 5 years they have been trying, Vince has been trying to say this guy is the most WWE person that exists. It's Roman Reigns. He is the anchor of the entire company, whether you or I believe it. That's what and for Roman to leave and show up on the premiere episode of All Elite Wrestling this October, even though it's contractually impossible. A year from now, when All Elite's like, oh man, they're doing pretty good, but what's going to get them over the hump? If Roman were to leave and show up, and Dean's already there, then you might start thinking, whoa, well, why is Hogan and Macho Man on something called WCW and not WWE? Then you might start to see some, wow, that's interesting, because Roman is so WWE. I'm going to say Roman.
Okay.
Because he wouldn't let me say Seth, but I think Roman's actually a bigger deal than if Seth went. I really do. Because Seth was somebody else before.
Roman, I think, would be a huger deal in terms of perception.
Yeah, and I think that matters.
Oh,
I think that matters.
It definitely does.
That's the thing that kind of matters.
Next question from AO Worm.
What's good, everybody? AO Worm here. All right, Steve Larson. I'm going to give you guys two match types, and I want you guys to debate which one would you guys rather see in WWE. Would you guys like to see the return of the 3 Stages of Hell match? Or would you like for WWE to bring the Ultimate X match to WWE in some type of new type of gimmick for WWE, for the Cruiserweights, or for anybody else for that matter? All right, guys, take it easy. Too sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, AO Worm.
Thank you, AO Worm.
Oh, give me 3 Stages of Hell.
Which one was 3 Stages of Hell?
That's the 3 matches in one match. Perhaps the perfect 3 Stages of Hell match was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. You get street fight for the first fall, steel cage, second fall, third fall, ladder match. Although I'd want it where it was street fight.
Okay. Yeah.
Steel cage.
Okay.
Then Hell in a Cell. I know it couldn't work, but that's what I'd want.
Yeah. How would you do that?
You'd have to dismantle the cage and not just lift it above the ring.
Yeah. They'd have to descend or something.
Or street fight, ladder match, then Hell in a Cell.
Well, I just want Ultimate X.
That's one with the ropes above the ring that you can do stuff off of, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That seems exceptionally dangerous.
They had some cool ass Ultimate X moments. Anyways, I never seen a whole match, but I've seen plenty of cool moments. What was the match? I don't think it was Ultimate X. What was the 6? What was the one?
Oh, the Doomsday Cage.
Elix Skipper.
Yeah, it's a Doomsday Cage, I think.
Woo!
That was
Still,
a cage.
That might be the top wrestling moment of all time.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty damn extreme.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So you're saying Ultimate X?
Yeah, because what you're talking about is way too much. That's just it's too many matches.
No, it's great. 3 Stages of Hell. Next.
Who would your opponents be, dude? If you can have your pick. who would be your opponents? Who would be fighting?
Seth Rollins. What'd I say? Street fight ladder match, Hell in a Cell? Yeah, Seth. And
It'd have to be Seth Kofi. Because they both were gauntlet match guys.
Yeah.
So that'd be my
I was also trying to think of somebody that would...
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
That would do a spot off the cage.
I don't want to see Daniel Bryan.
Exactly. That's why I'm not mentioning Daniel
Seth
Bryan.
Brock.
I don't necessarily want anybody to be tossed off the top of the cage.
Oh, Seth Mustafa Ali. That's what it is.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, okay.
Next, RB3.
RB3's back.
Hey, friendos, long time no see. This your boy RB3 coming through with a Matt Chat question for you guys. I was thinking about factions, and I was thinking about how cool it was with Kofi winning the WWE Championship, and I gotta think before Big E got injured, maybe they would have gave the New Day another run with the tag team titles. So I was wondering, with certain factions, how would you go about making one the main champion and the other two the tag team champions? How would you guys go about making either the Forgotten Sons champions or Sanity? Thank you, friendos.
Thank you, RB3.
Thank you, RB3.
Do unto others.
Man, I don't know how you make Forgotten Sons all champions. It wouldn't happen on the main roster, that's for sure.
That definitely wouldn't happen. Here's the thing about NXT, though. All that really matters is how good the matches are, and they could probably find a way to get those guys in a really good match.
Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler, their tag matches have been decent for the most part.
Jackson Riker looks like a believable champion guy.
Oh, yeah, he does. Absolutely.
He's got the look.
And he's got the look, yeah. And especially now that War Machine on the way out.
Yeah.
They're going to need new tag champions.
Yeah.
So it's really up to between them and Undisputed Era, probably.
Yeah, there are no other tag teams. Are they going to give them to the Street Profits?
That'd be great.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum. But it still feels like they really know what they're doing with them. So Forgotten Sons, at least there seems to be some sort of focus with them, even though what they're all about is still somewhat nebulous. So put those tag titles on Cutler and Blake. Now feeling empowered since they have tag titles, they can focus energy on Jackson Riker, having him get some belts, whether it be North American or NXT world title, or both.
Both.
Forgotten no more. We have all titles.
Yeah, would they have to redub themselves?
Remembered Sons.
Yeah, Discovered Sons, Rediscovered Sons. Anyways,
Sandy's really no more, so I don't know how you can book them all as champions.
All you need is Damo. Damo comes in, Fun Splash, gets the main title. Fun Splash, tag titles.
And then Nikki Cross, women's champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Eric Young comes back as the Provocateur.
Yeah, Auteur.
You guys should be watching Steven Larson Book Raw. It's amazing.
It's fun.
It's the best thing on TV. And I can't wait till we kick it up with 2K20 when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Next question from the Hall of Famer,
Christian.
Hey Steve, hey Larson, is the Hall of Fame Christian Hill on the Matt Chat question. My question to you guys is regarding NXT and NXT UK. My question is, how would you guys feel? Because there's 6 titles between the two brands. Maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. Very sparingly, but sometimes have a NXT title match on main roster pay-per-view. We saw it with Evolution. But for an example I thought of was you have 6 titles, have, the 5 other titles, put that at TakeOver, and maybe the opening match on WrestleMania's main card is an NXT title match. Show people what they might be missing. I don't know. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
I don't mind NXT titles only be defended, on takeovers and NXT TV because they are NXT titles. However, there's one title that's traditionally defended in NXT that is a WB title, and that's the WB United Kingdom Championship. It is not dubbed the NXT United Kingdom Championship. It's the WWE United Kingdom Championship. So I feel like that should be defended at least once a year on a pay-per-view, preferably WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
It seems like a very sort of semantics argument you're making there. There is no WWE UK division. It's the WWE NXT UK.
They should rename the belt then.
I think it's just understood, man. I think you just gotta let go. It's understood.
No, that's the loophole by which you could do it. And people are like, well, how come this is being defended here but not all the other NXT titles? Well, it's a WWE title, not an NXT title. That's how you do it.
Oh, okay. Nah. You know why? You know why? No.
Here's why, because
they're not going to give it time.
They're not going to give it time. I'm not going to dedicate the
12-minute kickoff match.
The means necessary. Yes, exactly.
12-minute kickoff match.
They're not going to be given the opportunities they are to prepare their matches like they do for takeovers for WrestleMania. It's just not going to happen.
True.
Next, Cult of False Realities.
What's up, Stephen Larson? Cult of False Reality here. Let's get into the question. My question is about Renee Young, how everybody gives her crap about her commentary. And my question is basically 3 parts. 1, who are 3 females that could have done her job better? 2, who are 3 that could have been worse? And 3, just overall, what does she rank, basically, of all commentators? Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks.
Thank you. Cult of False Realities.
So for one thing, I think it's kind of early. Good commentating takes a long time.
Yeah.
Michael Cole was not that good for a very long time.
Corey Graves is an outlier. So you put him behind the commentary table, and he instantly was great.
Immediately great.
Yeah.
He was scary great from the beginning.
I mean, we've seen with Byron Saxton. He wasn't that good when he started.
Nope.
Now he's phenomenal.
Now he's really good.
Nigel is actually pretty good from the beginning.
Nigel was phenomenal from the beginning.
And we've seen like David Otunga. He's still not good.
Oh my God, he's a wreck.
Jonathan
always.
Coachman, he wasn't good. He was a decent Sports Center anchor.
Yeah.
Not good on commentary. Yeah. It's a tough job, especially when you have someone barking in your ear the entire time.
Yeah, right.
Imagine that's the most difficult part. If it was a situation where she didn't have Vince in her ear the entire time telling her what to say,
probably better.
And it was a more relaxed environment.
Yeah.
And the dynamic between the 3 of them was a little different, where far too often it's Corey badgering her about some subject matter.
Yeah.
I think she would be really good.
They do need to figure out.
She was so good on talking smack.
I get the feeling that right now Michael Cole is putting her through there. He's putting her feet to the fire a little bit, because I notice he takes her to task a bit more during the Raw broadcasts than feels necessary, and requires her to think on her feet, which I assume is his way of just sharpening her skills. Mm-hmm. And I think that we're still in that phase, but I think given another couple of years, I think she'll be phenomenal.
I also
think
wonder
good.
too if maybe she'd be better served as the play-by-play announcer, calling the action of the match.
Ooh, I don't know. I've never heard her do that before.
I haven't either.
And
because that's a different skill set than being an analyst, you know?
Yeah, it is. That I suspect would be very difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I think that the role that she's in right now is fine. It just takes a lot of time.
It does.
It takes chemistry. They really need to learn what's okay. What's okay, because right now I know Corey is sort of the heel announcer guy, and she serves the other side of that spectrum, more of a face color commentator. And I think she just needs to find her voice.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
And part of that is getting the Vince out of her ear.
Yeah,
because she was great on talking smack.
Yeah,
she was
really
great.
Good, yeah,
and she was great when she was doing the interview segments too. So I think she has the ability, whether it be as play-by-play or analyst. It's just, as you said, finding her voice and giving her probably the latitude to do her job best of her abilities.
Next up, Velveteen Dreams hairstylist.
Hello, Stephen Larson, Friendo Universe, back with another Matt Check question. So, would like for you guys to reset some WWE superstars' careers in WWE. For example, I was thinking that 2016, NXT, maybe AJ Styles and the Club debut together, go through NXT, feud with DIY, Sanity, Undisputed Era, and then around 2017, 2018, maybe AJ Styles and Adam Cole have a great match takeover. Styles drops title to Cole, and then Styles and the Club go to SmackDown, attack Finn Balor, and kind of do like Bullet Club-ish feud. So it's kind of what I want to know. Would you guys reset any WWE stars' careers, starting with NXT? Thank you. Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Later.
Thank you, Velveteen's hairstylist.
Okay, so can we list off? You have the right answer here.
I mean, he's. You mean like historically speaking, since the rebirth of NXT, let's say under Triple H's watch, anybody. And like the only person I could think of other than AJ who debuted on Maine was Mike Bennett.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just now, like 2 years after he signed, we're finally seeing what he can really do on 205 Live.
It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been doing great work. And I understand when he signed, he had some substance abuse issues, my understanding, which kind of maybe set him back a little bit. Nonetheless, you'd think if he had signed and gone to NXT immediately, that he would have a chance to really develop his character, develop his brand before going up to the main roster.
Yeah.
And when he would debuted at Money in the Bank a couple years ago, is that what it was? Or Hell in a Cell, whatever one it was, with Maria, after having been in NXT for a year or so, really developing those characters, really developing those brands. Because that theme song would go over like $1 million in NXT.
I know.
The whole crowd would be singing along with it.
I know.
And imagine him coming up to Maine with that level of enthusiasm behind him.
I know.
He could have been an impact player right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Instead of basically getting lost in the shuffle right out of the gate.
Yeah. I agree with everything you say. I think it's Mike Bennett, Mike Kanellis, whatever you want to call him. I think he's like my favorite thing about 205 Live. It really is. I think they're really good, and I'd love to see. Although obviously it didn't happen this time. I wonder if they have big plans for him in 205.
Yeah, I wonder.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Next, got a question from Loki.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Loki Richard here. It's my last day in Osaka, and here I am at Osaka Castle. Last Matt Chat question from Japan. My question for you is, if you can have Dave Meltzer explain to you all of lucha culture wrestling or Japanese culture wrestling, which would it be? Have fun in the debate. We'll see you soon in America.
Thank you, Loki.
Thank you, Loki.
Oh, how fun would it be to sit down, have a chat, a history lesson with Dave about wrestling all over the world.
Sure.
I think it'd be fascinating. I don't think there's any wrong answer here.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
If I had my preference, to deviate from the question a little bit, if I had my preference, it would be old-timey.
Mm-hmm.
I am fascinated with old-timey wrestling from the beginning of the 1900s to, let's say, like the 1950s, because he'll drop some names on Twitter sometime. He'll be like, this guy, biggest draw in the 1940s. I'm like,
oh, Jim Lando?
Jim Lando, stuff like that. I'm like, don't know who that is, but I really want to know more about that. It'd be fascinating. Of course, it'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, totally.
I got to lend you that graphic novel that somebody sent us.
Yeah. The history wrestling. That seems
it's actually
fascinating.
very effective.
That's
good.
good.
It's really well done.
That's good.
Wayne Maker has a question about me and Larson being a tag team. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson, Wayne Maker here, and I've got a match chat question for you. Now, this week, I want to know if you two were a legit tag team, who would be the guy that gets beaten up for after the match, and who would be the guy that would get the hot tag? Now, I want you both to argue for your point of view, because let's face it, the geezer who gets beaten up most of the time is normally the weaker half, and everyone wants to see the hot tag. So, Steve, why would you be the guy that gets a hot tag? And Larson, why would you be the guy that gets a hot tag? So, too sweet, eye handshake, shoulder lean. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Wayne Maker.
What a terrific question from the Wayne Maker.
Okay, I'll try to make the case that you should be the one that gets the hot tag. And here's why.
That case
Wait.
cannot be
Yes,
made.
it can.
I'm Trent Seven, you're Tyler Bate.
Here's the thing. I'm not in that good of shape.
Well, I know, but if there's...
Your cardio might actually be better than mine because you actually run. Here's the thing. If I take your side of the argument in my favor that you're not explosive, here's the thing. You got personality. You can get that hot tag, do some moves, get the crowd excited, do a couple punches.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Get the crowd into it. Personality.
Your lack of mirth, nobody's going to care that you're getting beat up. My personality, they're going to care. Number one, they're going to feel sympathy because we're like, oh, this sad, like lumpy pile of crap in there getting his butt whooped. Poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's on the mic, he's a joy. He's hilarious. He's so funny with all his impersonations.
And me,
fart
who
jokes.
I'm a snorefest. I'm a bore.
Exactly. Nobody would care if you're getting beat up.
But if you make me mad,
everybody wants to see you explode.
Yes.
They want to see you explode.
Yeah.
Because they know that it could happen. And so it's the perfect thing.
Here's the perfect situation, though. So I'll be in there getting my butt kicked.
Okay.
You get the first hot tag.
Okay.
You do your couple punches.
Yeah.
Put them in a headlock or something.
Yeah.
Eventually the tables turn. Now you're the one getting beat up.
Okay.
And so
we're just outmatched then.
No, but here's the thing. So I was in there getting beat up first. I'm just itching to get back in there and show them what I could do. I'm about to pop.
Okay.
I'm so my temper's flaring.
Okay.
And after seeing you get beat up so like I'm in there for the first 3 minutes, I get beat up. Tag to you. You get the upper hand for a little bit. This is psychology right here.
Okay. All right. Lay out the match.
Yeah. You get some action in. Eventually, tables turn. You're getting beat up for 15 minutes.
And you're like...
No, I'm like shaking the ropes.
Yeah.
Trying to get the crowd into it.
You're getting gassed already.
You can see the steam coming out of my ears. I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
Hot tag to me. 5 moves of doom, we win.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like it. That's good. That works too. I kind of like that if you get in the hot tag, you jumping over the rope, knee blows out, and then we just lose.
Okay, that's more likely to happen. Yeah, that's more likely to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll pull a muscle to stepping through the ropes. Next question from Stephen M.
How are we getting on, friendos? Stephen M here with another match chat question. So I recently watched There Will Be Blood. I know a personal favorite of both of yours, and made me think, what if wrestlers were recast in some of our favorite movies? Because I was thinking about Samoa Joe or Drew being Daniel Plainview, and they get their straw and they drink up your milkshake. But yeah, so pick some of your favorite movies, pick a wrestler who's a really good promo or who'd fit the act, and recast those movies.
Thank you, Stephen M.
Thank you, Stephen M.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
So, Boogie Nights, one of my favorite movies. Tyler Bate is Dirk Diggler.
Okay. That's good. That's
and
really
then
good.
Baron Corbin is Chess Rockwell.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Triple H is Jack Horner.
That makes total sense.
And then Mickey James is Amber Waves.
Oh, wow. Okay. Who's Roller Girl?
Alexa Bliss.
Oh, wow. That's good. I like that. Want to see that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Oh, man. I don't know. Shoot. What movie should I go with? All right. Okay. I'll go with Zodiac.
All right.
I'll go with Zodiac.
So Robert Graysmith.
Robert Graysmith, played by
Jake Gyllenhaal,
the young cartoonist who develops a fascination with the Zodiac case. An obsession ends up kind of ruining his marriage. Who is obsessed? I'm going to say Daniel Bryan.
All right.
Daniel Bryan, make a pretty good Robert.
That's good. Paul Avery, Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
So sort of flamboyant reporter, has his own demons that he's battling, reluctantly sort of takes on Graysmith as kind of a sidekick in some of these shenanigans. I will go with, boy, who sort of battles his own demons? You know who I'd like to see in that role? No. I'm going to go with the Mark Ruffalo character, the guy that allegedly, Dave Toschi, that Steve McQueen based Bullet off of.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Samoa Joe.
That's good.
I think that'd be good.
That would be good. And what about his character played by Goose?
His partner, you mean?
Oh, yeah, sorry. His partner played by Goose.
Well, he's sort of nerdier, kind of more lame. And just sort of, he's sort of done with it all.
He's by the book.
He's by the book, but he's also kind of burnt out. I don't know who's burnt out right now.
Probably anybody is asking for their release.
Yeah, so he'll be played by Luke Harper.
There you go.
And then Arthur Lee Allen, their main suspect for the Zodiac killings, would obviously be Braun Strowman. Shut up, give me your keys.
What about Dean Ambrose as Paul Avery?
Oh, that's a good. That's perfect. See, that's perfect.
There you go.
I needed a collaboration.
Yeah. Next, Ray Gonzalez, another movie-themed question.
Hey, Stephen Larson. This is Ray Gonzalez here. So, for this week, I want to ask, all right, so they're going to make a series of movies based on wrestling throughout histories. So, pick a director for each era, starting from the Rock and Wrestling and up to the modern era. So, director for the, Attitude, PG, Ruthless Aggression. So my one pick would be George Miller to direct the Attitude Era section of the series of movies. What are your picks? Thanks, friendos.
Thank you, Ray. While you think, I'll go ahead and go. So for the Rock and Wrestling era, I feel like they probably really want to get Steven Spielberg to do it. He wouldn't do it. So who's the poor man Steven Spielberg, especially in the 80s? Ron Howard.
Okay, yeah.
Especially like Willow was trying to be a Spielberg movie.
Okay, I'm gonna go in this direction. We'll just do it each
each era, yeah.
Rock and wrestling, I'm going to go with... Oh, no, I know what I'm going to do. Is similar to his movie about football. What was that football movie made? I'm going to have Oliver Stone do the rock and wrestling.
Interesting.
Because I feel like he does unsavory really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, the new generation. I was trying to think of like the most early 90s director.
Yeah.
And I got Michael Mann.
Okay, yeah.
Especially, I know Heat isn't exact. It's 95. But it feels like a movie that couldn't have been made in any other time period with how it was shot, the score, all that. Felt very mid-90s.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, for the new generation, because it's a bit depressing what was going on. You know, the steroids thing was happening. I'm going to go with Darren Aronofsky.
All right.
Same guy who directed The Wrestler.
Yes.
He's already got a wealth of knowledge
about pro wrestling.
He's going to take that to 1995.
Attitude Era. It's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, Tarantino's that's a really good one. I'll go with somebody slightly different. Let's see here, the Attitude Era. I will say for no other, he's just one of my... Yeah, it's Tarantino.
It's Tarantino, man.
It's got to be Tarantino.
Ruthless Aggression. There's a lot of blood in the Ruthless Aggression era. Therefore, Eli Roth.
Wow, that's a bold choice right there. That's a really good choice. I'm going to go with my favorite current director, Rian Johnson.
Okay.
Of Looper and The Last Jedi.
Yeah. PG era. Again, they probably would really want to get Spielberg for that. Can't. So who creates the best Amblin-style movies today? J.J. Abrams.
Oh, God. It'd be lame just like the PG era, too. Totally lame. Well, you really put some good thought into this stuff. I did not.
Oh, that's it for today. I'd have the directors of the Avengers, last two Avengers movies, the Russo brothers.
For the PG era, I would go with Adam McKay.
Okay, that's a good pick.
He's got some good stuff these days. Did you see Vice?
No, I haven't yet. I did see I saw The Big Short though.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, I like how he sort of turned into Oscar bait guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
But he's not losing the sense of humor.
Yeah. For today, I would go with what's that terrible Jurassic World guy, Colin Trevorrow?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with that because it's just a debacle these days, man. It's a debacle.
Fitting pick. Last one. Text question from the Howdly Doodly champion, the Diddly Doodler.
Oh, Ruthless Aggression. No, I'd go with Sam Raimi.
Oh, that's good.
He does blood really well.
Yeah.
And people be throwing up in each other's mouths.
There's be a lot of vomit. So his question is, text question. Okay, assume every WWE roster member was suddenly made single and was unable to date anyone in the wrestling industry. In kayfabe, who would be the best, worst, and weirdest in the dating market? So based on the characters. I feel like Finn Balor, he's the extraordinary man that does extraordinary things, or other way around.
He'd be a hot commodity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that workhorse title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finn Balor, best choice.
That's best choice. Who's like most undateable? Oh, isn't it like Lars Sullivan?
I thought about him or Bray Wyatt. He's got all sorts of weird obsession with puppets and stuff these days.
Yeah, but chicks like that weird stuff.
I don't know, man.
They do. They like that. But Lars.
No, Lars is definitely a contender for worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weirdest, I said heavy machinery because there's no, like, they're obsessed with steaks.
Oh God, they might be worse too.
And there's no reason why, like Otis, like, why is he just so weird?
Yeah. There's no kayfabe explanation.
Exactly,
for that.
and that's why I think that it'd be mysterious and weird.
Yeah.
Because it's not like creepy weird like some of like Bray's obsessions with puppets, seemingly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird for the sake of being weird, and it doesn't make any sense.
Well, best could also be Seth. We've literally, like, it's easy.
Yeah.
You can find. You know, it's out there.
Yeah.
You can choose for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, your name. Anyways, that's it for Matt Chat. Thanks so much, everybody, for your questions. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.